everybody, and welcome back to the show and our living room. Well, at least our living room for the next 4 months. Yeah, in case you didn't catch last week's 2014 premiere episode of the show, you may not be privy to the fact that we're no longer in Sac Seat, Texas, and we are in fact in Vancouver, British Columbia. So we're house sitting for a friend of ours for the next 4 months, both her condo here in South Granville area. It's very, very nice, beautiful area. We've been kind of getting settled in the past week, but we're taking care of her home and her cats, one of which, Polly here, you can see, she's gonna be my assistant today. Now, her and her brother Bob will be the one, they look very similar. Bob's the one with the red collar. They may be coming and going throughout the video, probably just curious. But they've been great, and it's a great place and a great opportunity. So I'm sure you'll be seeing more of our place here and outside in Vancouver as I do more videos over the next 4 months. But oh, and here's Bob here. Speak of the little devil. Yeah, he's gonna want to do this all the time. Cats are actually excellent therapy assistants, as you can see. But anyways, getting to today's topic, I got an email from a client of mine the other day asking about if some popping, grinding, he didn't say pain or hurt, but popping, grinding noises in certain exercises were normal. And it just made me think, wow, I've done a whole year of videos and I haven't addressed one thing in particular, which is what do you do if an exercise hurts? So I wanted to, give that some attention today. And usually when people ask me things like, well, what if or I do this exercise and it's popping, grinding, snapping, or it hurts, what do I do? And I usually find that both what the person is asking and the answer I give usually falls into one of 3 categories. So number 1 is if you're doing a movement and there's any of those things, popping, grinding, snapping, or it's just very difficult to do, but as you do repetitions, it improves, then you really don't have to change anything. So for example, let me see if I can set this up here so you can see me. Let's say you're doing basic pullovers, right? Hook line pullovers. And you could be doing these in static back position, frog, static wall, it doesn't really matter. But let's say you're doing pullovers and you notice the first few repetitions, let's say 5, it's really stiff, it's tough to get your arms all the way back. Maybe you can't even get them all the way back at first. But as you go through the 30 repetitions that it probably calls for in your routine, you start to notice, oh, it's a lot more fluid, I have better range of motion, and everything's feeling better. In that case, you really don't have to change a thing. Obviously just go slow at first. We're not trying to push through any pain or anything. I don't subscribe, I don't think you should to the no pain, no gain. Let's take what the body will give you and look to improve on it. Not only each day and each week, but every repetition. So ideally, repetition number 30 of the pullover should be better than number 1 and number 5 and number 10, all right? Category number 2, I guess I can sit up as I talk to you for this. Category number 2 is, and we'll use the pullovers as an example, again, is let's say you're going through the range of motion and you find that the first few are painful or they're snapping. So maybe the first few there's click or a pop going on, okay? Now part of this could be due to your form, but if you're going to say here and everything's fine, but the last maybe 10 degrees is where you get a click, a pop, or maybe it's painful, then what I would suggest is for the time being, just don't do that last 10 degrees. So instead of just not doing the exercise at all, instead of going all the way down, or maybe this range of motion right here is where you feel the pain or there's clicking or popping, just go until there, right before you feel it, and then come up. And ideally what we're looking for is possibly within the 30 reps you do, but maybe the next day or the day after or definitely a week into it, then you'll be able to go that extra 10 degrees without there being any of that clicking, popping, or any type of painful symptom, all right? Same thing, for example, let's say you're doing arm circles, and I don't have the camera set up so I can stand up, but I'll do them in kind of a hero's pose position. If you're here and you bring your arms up to shoulder height and you go to start to circle them and it hurts here, right? You start to feel, my shoulder. try dropping your arms an inch or two and doing them down there, and you'll most likely feel that, oh, now there's no impingement, there's no pain. So a lot of these exercises, I do the videos and show you, how they're supposed to be done with perfect form. But it all depends on the body you're bringing to the exercise. So if we have to modify the exercise, move your body an inch or two this way, or change it from a 45-degree angle to a 35-degree angle, that's fine. And then eventually, as your posture improves and you get stronger in certain other areas and looser in certain other areas, you'll be able to do these exercises with textbook form. So don't be discouraged if you can't, or if doing them the way that I describe on the video tutorials, causes any grinding, snapping, popping, or anything. It's nothing to be scared of, or I don't want you to get discouraged. We may just need to modify it. And I strongly encourage you, both, if you're clients of mine, especially if you're clients of mine working one-on-one, but even if you're not, if there's an exercise you're doing that may be following along in the video tutorials, there's something you quite don't understand, or you do, and there is some of that popping and grinding, and you're wondering, how can I modify this, and I haven't already addressed it inside that video tutorial, then please, call, email me, or even better yet, send me a video of you doing that particular exercise so I can critique your form and help you out, all right? Because, obviously it's a visual-based type therapy, so if I can see you doing it, then I can tell you, either what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong, and what needs to be changed. So, and then probably, I guess, the third category, which I really didn't talk on yet, is, if you do an exercise and you can't modify it, even just the very beginning range of the motion or getting into the position hurts, then quite frankly, that exercise may just not be for you at this time. It's not that the exercise is bad and that you should never do it. It's at this time, the body that you're trying to bring to it. And I'm not even talking about today. I've had people where they'll go into, say, static extension position, or any exercise for that matter. I'm just using that one for example. And they'll go into it, if it's the first exercise, it causes them pain. But if they do 2 or 3 exercises before it and then come back to it, all of a sudden, this actually feels good. So that's also why the sequencing of the exercises is very important. All right, but if you come upon an exercise in one of the routines I've recommended that just doesn't feel good, and you can't, change it, like I recommended here, maybe 10, 20 degrees, or scoot back an inch or two, then, just skip it for now, and, contact me and let me know how I can help modify it specifically for you. All right. Anyways, thanks for joining me inside our new place. Cats, say bye. And I look forward to seeing you guys inside the next video. All right. Take care and have a great week.